brand new box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today I'm talking about the domestic box office just this past weekend, which was July 18th to 20th, 2025. Also giving an overall look at the worldwide and domestic numbers so far in 2025. We're going to look ahead at what's coming out in theaters this upcoming weekend. And we're also going to preview all of my upcoming videos here on the channel. So welcome back to Max Talks Box Office here on Max Talks Movies. So if you're new to the channel, guys, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell if so you're notified when my videos drop here on YouTube. I do this show every single Monday. I also do movie franchise rankings, out-of-theater reactions, and movie and TV show reviews. So if you like any one of those things, please consider subscribing. Please comment down below. What are your thoughts on the box office? What did you see this past weekend? What do you guys see this upcoming weekend? I love talking movie theater experiences with people. I respond to every single comment, so definitely go comment down below. And also, please, guys, hit the thumbs up button. That's the best way to help support this channel. So without further ado, we got a lot to talk about. Let's start with this past weekend's domestic numbers, which again, domestic is United States and Canada. Just for this past weekend, the 18th to the 20th, 2025. And Superman firmly held on to the #1 spot by over $35 million. In its second weekend, it made $58.4 million. It's only a 53% drop for Superman, up to $236.2 million domestically. Now, as I've continually said here, talking to people about Superman, this is a movie that was going to do extremely well domestically. A lot of people believe it feels like a very American macho-like movie. And if you see that, the international numbers are not as strong for Superman. It's made, let me make sure I have this right. Superman worldwide has made 408, 171 international, 236 domestically. And when you want a big tentpole superhero film, usually more money, around 55, 45, or even 60%, 40% of the money is made outside of the United States. I think it's a big reason why Superman, the franchise, has never made $1 billion as a solo film. Man of Steel, I think, got to near $700 million. And this version of Superman still needs around $270 million still just to match Man of Steel. Now, again, the budget reportedly is 233. The reports are it is much higher than that. So I am not sure this movie will be it will make its money in theaters. I think it will make a lot of its money on pre-sales and people buying the movie on PVOD. Then I think that will help make up for some losses. But this is not a massive success like most people are saying. And again, I like the movie a lot. I'm not talking about this is all from a business box office perspective. This movie has done tremendous domestically. It's already in the top 10 of the year domestically. It's already about to be in the top 5 already domestically. But this is not a billion-dollar movie. This is not a movie that is a unanimous winner for DC. But it's also not an embarrassment or a loss or something that's going to make people question James Gunn, at least out of the gate. So that's my rant on Superman. Unbelievably, Jurassic World Rebirth is still doing fantastic, only dropping 41% in its third weekend. Another $23.7 million for Jurassic World, up to 276 domestically. That's $40 million currently more than Superman. Again, it's been out a whole extra week than Superman, but still fantastic numbers for Jurassic World Rebirth. The film is already closing in on 700 million worldwide. This franchise is alive and well from a business perspective. I think a lot of us can agree that this has never been a high quality franchise, especially since they introduced the Jurassic World era of movies back in 2015. But even with really bad word of mouth, especially for the last 3 movies of this franchise, that has not deterred moviegoers to checking out the new film in the franchise. So I'm sure Universal is getting ready to announce more projects in this franchise. The movie that came out this past weekend was I Know What You Did Last Summer from Sony. It opened at $12.7 million domestically. Now, this is not a big number. Now, I thought it would be higher only because it is really good counter programming to films like Superman and Jurassic World. Horror tends to do very well, but clearly this is not as big of a franchise, I think, that Sony was thinking. Now, again, the budget for this movie is only $18 million. So this movie does not need to make that much just to break even at the box office. Probably needs to make around 45 to $50 million worldwide just to break even. So this is not a going to be a big money loser for Sony, but there just isn't that excitement. And then plus, this has been one of the most divisive horror movies of the year, where some people think it's the best legacy sequel of all time, and some people think it's absolutely an offensive legacy sequel. And that divisiveness, you really, when you want a legacy sequel, you want people to be back excited about the franchise. But you've kind of done the worst thing possible, which is split the fan base and moviegoers down the middle on this movie. So, again, spoilers, did set up a sequel with a mid-credit scene in this movie. Not sure. Sony has not officially greenlit this movie yet, but they were definitely hoping to get a sequel. At number four this weekend, a big not good news. That is Smurfs opening to number four with only $11 million. This is from Paramount Pictures. Now, the budget for this movie is $58 million. So it needs to make around 120, $130 million, probably worldwide, to be around its break even. Probably 130, 140 for the movie to break even. And again, this is a franchise that's not been around for a very long time. And the summer has been full of family movies that have really made this box office in the summer so far. We're talking about How to Train Your Dragon, Elio, Lilo and Stitch have really made their impact at the box office. And it's weird. Family film isn't the best counter programming when the top two movies are family film blockbusters in Superman and Jurassic World. That's what I thought last summer would do a really much better because it feels like good counter programming. Smurfs does not feel like the best counter programming, as Superman is the most family friendly blockbuster superhero comic book movie there could be. So if families took them to see Superman and even Jurassic World recently, and probably planning on going seeing Fantastic Four this weekend, a lot of hobby people did skip out on Smurfs. The reviews have been terrible for the movie. This will hit Paramount Plus, probably do well down there, but this is not a great resurgence. Again, another franchise that does look dead in the water. Wrapping up the top five, and it's a fourth weekend, is F1, the movie, dropping only 24%. Great news. Another 9.8 million, 153 domestic. Again, these numbers don't really matter anymore because for Apple's sake, this is by far and away their most successful movie they have ever made. A lot of bombs, and even if this money doesn't, even when this movie does not make its money back theatrically, I think a lot of people are, buying the album, for example. A lot of people are going to be PVODing this movie before it hits Apple TV Plus down the line. I think F1 isn't a slam dunk, crowd pleasing winner from a business perspective, even though the reviews and the audience scores are fantastic. But for Apple, they will take any win at this point with their movies, and this is by far away their biggest winner so far. Looking at the overall numbers domestically, Minecraft is at one. Lilo and Stitch, even though Lilo and Stitch did pass Minecraft at the worldwide box office, it's still one Minecraft, Lilo 2. Sinners 3, Jurassic World is $2 million now away from passing Sinners, so it'll get into the stay in the top four. Superman's at 236. That should also be getting into the top four very soon. Captain America is 7, Mission Impossible at 8, Thunderbolts at 9, and F1 at number 10. Looking at the worldwide numbers, Lilo and Stitch is officially the first American-made billion-dollar movie of the year. It was really scratching and clawing for weeks now. The movie's been on digital for such a long time. But again, and I explained to people about Superman, this is why Lilo and Stitch can be a billion-dollar movie. It made 418 domestic, which is very good. Would have been plenty because the movie only cost $100 million. But the movie made 418 domestically and 590 internationally. Movies that have more international than domestic, usually of these type of tentpole movies, need to have more international than domestic to be a billion-dollar movie. Minecraft's the same way. The domestic share is 41% for Lilo, 44% for Minecraft. And look, even Jurassic World's at 42. These are top movies. You need to make more internationally than domestically. Superman currently is at a 57% share. That's not where you want to be if you want to be near $1 billion. So that's why Superman is down at number 10. As I said, How to Train Your Dragons at 5, Mission Impossible at 6, F1 at 7. F1, 461, very good, just a very high budget for that movie. And then you have Captain America and Superman. So this is a big weekend in theaters as Marvel is getting their final movie of the year. And this is also their final movie until the two Avengers films, with one of them coming out December of next year, Avengers Doomsday, as Fantastic Four will hit theaters. From a business perspective, Marvel had one of the biggest movies of the year last year. Their only film of the year grossed $1 billion in Deadpool and Wolverine. But Thunderbolts and Captain America Brave New World did not even break even at the box office this year. So even though Thunderbolts is a well more received movie, both audience and critically, they made around the same amount of money, did not make up their budgets. Those are money losers for Marvel. They need a big win. Again, Captain America and Thunderbolts made around $400 million worldwide. I think this movie makes 6 or 7. That's a very good sign for the MCU. This, again, is the last film before it's supposed to have a lot of setups for the big Avengers films coming out in the next 2 years. Pedro Pascal has not, all these people are not established movie stars, but again, it is the Fantastic Four. It has been a known brand, especially in the mainstream for over 20 years now. Big questions. The reactions have been quite positive so far, but are people done with superhero movies? They've already had Superman 2 weeks ago. How much does Fantastic Four take a bite out of films like Superman and Jurassic World Rebirth? We shall see. So let's give you guys a preview now on my videos hitting the channel this week. Today, also, I'm going to see I'm going to the AMC Scream Unseen, which I think is the new horror film Together. Whatever it is, I will do an out-of-theater reaction tonight, and then tomorrow, Tuesday, you'll have my full review for the movie, whatever movie they show us at AMC. I also will have an out-of-theater reaction and review for Fantastic Four on Thursday, with hopefully Friday, I'll be doing a full spoiler review for Fantastic Four. I've been waiting a long time for these spoiler reviews, but I like the idea of when the movie comes out, having a spoiler review ready for people who have seen the movie and want to talk about it, especially supposedly some important post-credit scenes of Fantastic Four. So out-of-theater reaction, non-spoiler review Thursday, spoiler review Friday. And then hopefully Saturday, I think it's Happy Gilmore 2 comes out on Netflix. So I'll have a review on Saturday for that. And then back here on Monday for a brand new box office breakdown show.